Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you enjoyed the first devotional, and I hope you'll enjoy this one also. If you do like what you are seeing and listening to, I really encourage you to subscribe to this channel so that you'll receive all of the updates as they come out. Also, I will leave my email posted in the description. Please feel free to send me any questions that you might have regarding the Scripture. I'd be more than happy to discuss them with you and create a video about that if it's something you're interested in. Probably from the time that you were a young child, you began learning about this great warrior known as Alexander the Great. One of the greatest, most fierce warriors that has ever walked on this earth. He conquered everywhere that he went. Well, there's a story told about Alexander the Great. You see, in his camp, he would have night guards. And these guards that would stay up at night, it was their job to make sure that nobody tried to come and to capture any of them or to try to come and overthrow their army while they were sleeping. The punishment, the penalty for a night guardsman falling asleep was death. Well, Alexander the Great, one night, he wasn't able to sleep very well, so he was walking around outside of his tent, and he came across this young soldier who had fallen asleep. Now, the penalty, the way that they used to go ahead and exact this penalty on those who had fallen asleep was they would take their sleeping bags. It wasn't really a sleeping bag like what you and I know today, but they would take their bedding and they would soak it with kerosene or some other kind of accelerant and catch it on fire. Can you imagine waking up like that? Well, Alexander the Great began to walk up to this young soldier. And this young soldier woke up and he saw who was approaching him, and he knew what his fate was. Alexander the Great, as he got closer, he drew his sword and he pointed it right at this young soldier and he said, "What is your name?" The young soldier sheepishly said, "My name is Alexander, sir." Alexander said in an angered, loud voice, "What is your name, soldier?" The soldier again said, "My name is Alexander." This proceeded 2 or 3 times loudly, getting louder each time, until the majority of the camp in that area had begun to wake up. Alexander the Great then put his sword back in his sheath, and he said to the young soldier, "Change your actions, or change your name." You see, this great warrior, he was offended that this soldier, who was probably named after him because of his greatness, would be sleeping on the job. That reminded me of 2 Timothy chapter 2. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and in verse 19, the latter half of 2 Timothy 2 and verse 19, we read these words, "The Lord knows who are His, and let everyone who names the name of the Lord depart from iniquity." What Paul is writing to Timothy is he says, if you claim the name of Christ, if you say, "I'm a Christian," Jesus knows about that. Now here's my question, my challenge for you as I challenge myself. Do we need to change our name? Are we living a life that is worthy of being called a Christian? Or like that young soldier, do we need to change our actions? Or do we need to change our name? The life that you are living today, would it make Jesus proud that you bear His name? Be sure and check back frequently for our new videos. I hope that this has encouraged you and challenged you as you are continuing your walk with Christ on this day.